Happiest season released in 2020 and stars Kristen Stewart and Mackenzie Davis as the leads and follows a lesbian couple who one of which is bringing Kristen Stewart's character Abby. Uh, Mackenzie Davis's character name, by the way, is Harper, and Harper decides to bring Kristen Stewart's character Abby to her family get together for the holidays for Christmas. But little does Abby know that Harper has not told her family about her sexuality, her lifestyle, but she has not told them Abby's either, so Abby has to pretend to just be like a friend, a roommate of Harper's this whole weekend, as well as pretend she's straight. So then you have the situation of it, sort of being a coming out story, as well as, the rom-com sprinkled in there is directed and co-written by Clea Duvall, the actress, and to mirror at least some of her real-life experiences. And from what I understand, it's the first major studio to release a lesbian Christmas movie, which is really great. It was released in 2020, like I said, so it was caught in the midst of the COVID stuff picking up. It was going to get a theatrical release, but because of everything going on, it only got a Hulu streaming distribution deal, which is a shame because this is a really wonderful movie overall. It is flawed, it is a little frustrating in one aspect in particular, which I'll talk about shortly. But overall, this was a joy to watch, and I wish I watched it when it came out. I've grown to be an increasingly more and more avid fan of Kristen Stewart. Underwater, for example, is a very overlooked and very, very good film. I also have always liked American Ultra, and she's really blossoming into just being an excellent, excellent actress. And I identified with her character here. You definitely kind of feel more from her perspective. And the whole cast is really enjoyable overall. Aubrey Plaza is someone I'm a big fan of as well. She plays a character in Harper's Past, and it's one of her more restrained roles, and she does a really nice, intricate little job from her end acting-wise too. And I think she and Stewart share the best scene in the movie at a bar. But yeah, I also like Victor Garber. You have Mary Sternbergen, who seems to be the quintessential mom for the past couple of decades now, even if she doesn't fully look like who she's playing the mom of. Daniel Levy, I haven't seen Schitt's Creek, but he was pretty enjoyable presence here as well. And the rest of the cast held up too. Now my issue with it is actually Mackenzie Davis's character Harper. I get we were supposed to feel, the pressure and the, how terrified she was to come out and, tell her family because they're more conservative. Her dad's running for a government position. But the way they did it and the way they had her treat Abby, Kristen Stewart's character, in the midst of it, especially by the halfway point or so, just made her unlikable. And it kind of pushed you to actually, okay, I want Kristen Stewart's character to break up with her and go off with another character in the film, or at least just split from her and flash forward a year later and be with that other person. But the goal of the movie, of course, is still writing on the wall. You know where it's going to end up. But it got to the point where Davis's character is so unlikable, you almost didn't want that kind of ending for her. You didn't want her to, still get what she wanted after how she had treated Abby. I don't know, so that made it hard to identify with her side of things, the way they handled that. But thankfully they did so well with Kristen Stewart's part, and despite the writing of the character, Mackenzie Davis still did a good job as well. And it's definitely one that you should check out. It was very engaging, the performances were all enjoyable, everyone bounced off each other rather well. The movie wasn't as funny as I thought it was going to be. There's a couple moments, but it's definitely leaning more on the side of romance versus comedy. There's some lines here and there. I don't really think it was trying that hard to be that much of a comedy. And there were times when Mary Sternbergen's character felt a little forced with her constantly commenting on the fact that Kristen Stewart's an orphan. It got a little old and a little unrealistic. As well as I forget what her name was, the character right next to Mackenzie Davis on the right of the poster. She seemed a little unnatural and just awkward as well. I didn't really care for her very much. But overall, I really did still like the film. I think it's one of Kristen Stewart's best performances, and yeah, it's just great to have a movie like this, and I wish it would get more attention. But yeah, so yeah, please do check it out. I believe it came out on disc as well. It might be a little hard to come by. But yeah, if I had to rate it, I'm giving it a B plus, A minus, somewhere in there. If they had tightened up or adjusted the Harper character a little bit, it would probably move up a little bit. But I still think it's very good. So yeah, let me guys think if you saw it. Follow me on Twitter, TikTok, of course, and Instagram.